The clouds had been gathering all afternoon, heavy, swollen things that felt too close to the earth. By the time Adrian Hale stepped out of Hailtech's headquarters, the sky cracked open with the sharp rattle of ice. Hail. And not the harmless kind. Chunks of ice bounced off car roofs like thrown stones. Pedestrians shrieked and scattered, racing toward any shelter they could find. Adrian, tall and composed even in chaos, unlocked his car with a sigh. Of all days. But as he settled into the driver's seat and glanced at his rearview mirror, something caught his eye. A small, frantic movement on the sidewalk across the street. He squinted. A little girl, maybe 6, was stumbling forward, tiny hands shielding her head as hail pelted her relentlessly. Her backpack, pink, with long rabbit ears, kept slipping from one shoulder. She winced each time a hailstone struck her thin arms. Adrian didn't think. He reacted. Throwing his door open, he dashed into the storm. The ice stung like fire as it hit his back and neck, but he didn't stop. Hey! Little one, he shouted over the roar. Come here. The girl looked up, face pale, eyes frightened. One particularly large hailstone struck near her feet, making her stumble. Adrian reached her in 3 long strides, dropping his coat over her small body like a shield. He crouched, wrapping his arms around her, absorbing the blows meant for her. Don't be scared, he said gently, though his breath came out harsh from the cold. I've got you. He felt her tiny fingers clutch the front of his shirt. He ran them back to the doorway of the old bookstore, one of the few places still open, its owner shouting for people to come inside. Adrian carried her over the threshold and set her gently on a bench near the heater. Her hair was soaked, curly strands clinging to her cheeks. Her boots were muddy, one heel bent from running. Adrian knelt before her. Are you hurt? She shook her head, but her lip quivered. Not from pain, but from relief. Outside, the hailstorm intensified, hammering the windows like 1,000 icy fists. The bookstore lights flickered. What were you doing out there alone? He asked, trying to keep his voice calm. The little girl swallowed hard, her breath trembling. I was trying to find you. His heart snagged on the words. Me? She nodded, hugging her rabbit backpack to her chest. My mom, she told me, if anything bad ever happened. I had to find you. Adrian froze, shock cutting through him sharper than the storm. He didn't know this child. He had never seen her before. But her eyes, warm brown, deep as amber, stirred something faint, familiar. What's your name? He whispered. Lily, she said softly. And my mom used to tell me stories about you every night. The room seemed to still. Even the storm sounded distant. Something was wrong. Something big. The hailstorm ended as abruptly as it began, leaving only shattered ice on the pavement and a glistening silence. Adrian carried Lily to his car, wrapping her tightly in his coat. As he buckled her in, she watched him with an intensity far beyond her age, like she was trying to memorize him. Inside the warm car, her trembling slowly faded. Adrian handed her a bottle of water he kept for his son. She sipped it quietly. He waited a moment, then asked softly. Lily, why was your mother telling you about me? She hesitated, tiny hands twisting the rabbit ears on her backpack, before she unzipped it and pulled out a folded, weather-worn photograph. She held it out with both hands. Because you're this man. Adrian took it carefully. His breath caught. There, in grainy sunlight, stood a younger version of himself, arm around a woman with soft brown hair, bright eyes, and a smile that could stop time. Elena. His first love. His greatest heartbreak. The woman he had searched for once but never found again. How do you have this? He whispered. Lily's eyes glistened. Mom kept it in her drawer. She said you were her brave boy. She said you always kept people safe. His chest tightened painfully. He remembered Elena saying that once, many years ago. Where is your mom now, Lily? He asked gently. The little girl looked down, voice shrinking. She got sick last week. She said she might not come back from the hospital. Adrian felt something inside him break. Lily continued in a trembling whisper. She told me if anything happened to her, I should find you. Because you were the only person she trusted. Adrian closed his eyes. This wasn't chance. This wasn't coincidence. This child, this brave little girl, had walked through a hailstorm to reach him. He reached out and touched her small hand. You're safe now, Lily. I promise you. I won't let anything happen to you. Not now, not ever. She leaned against him, her head resting on his arm. Mom said you would say that, she murmured. Adrian stared at the fading storm outside, heart pounding with a mix of fear, hope, and a truth he was suddenly afraid to face. Lily, he said softly, there's something I need to know. She looked up, innocent and trusting. Are you my daughter? Her eyes filled with tears. Not of sadness, but of relief. I hoped you'd ask, she whispered. And in that moment, everything Adrian thought he knew about his past, and his future, shifted forever.